So in this video we will talk about the bones of thorax. So the thoracic cavity is your chest cavity. So this is your body. So this is your body. So the thoracic cavity is basically uh, this area. So this is basically your thoracic cavity, or basically your chest area. So the thorax, this part, this shaded part, the thorax is like covered by a cage, or the thoracic cage, or lots of people know it as the rib cage. So the rib cage and the thoracic cage in general is made up of many important bones, and it's really important to know like what are the different bones, where are the bones in your body. Like it's really useful in surgery and stuff like that. So now today we will discuss about the bones that make up the thoracic cage or the rib cage for that matter. So in this video we will talk about the bone, particularly the bone sternum. So sternum is one of the most important thoracic bones in your body. It is basically your chest bone. So where is this bone located in your body? uh, like sternum is present somewhere here in your body. So like in the middle of your chest, where the at the lower end of the neck, and downward from there up to the midpoint of your chest. So the sternum is at the middle of your chest. It is your chest bone for that matter. So sternum is your chest bone, this long chest bone. So it is one of the most important bones of the body. So now let's look at the structure of the sternum. So let me draw the sternum. So this is the typical shape of your sternum. So as you can see, this bone is can be divided into three distinct parts. The head is also called the manubrum. So the manubrum, and this is the body of the sternum, and the small part, this one, is called the xiphisternum. So let me label these. This is the head, or the manu manubrum. This is the body of the sternum, and this small part is called the sternum. So these are the different parts of the sternum. So along with these parts, if you look at the manubrum itself, the manubrum has very particular properties or structures present in it. So as you can see, these, like there is one groove here, or notch here, and there's another one this identical on this side, and there's another one identical on this side. So basically there are three prominent notches here, 1, 2 and 3. So this first notch is called the jugular notch. So jugular notch is basically like if you can feel the jugular notch in your body. So this is your body, chest. Okay, and if you can right now watching this video, you can do it right now as well. If you can feel like at the lower end of your chest, there is like a depression here, and then the chest bone starts. So the bone is here, and right above the bone there is a depression, like there is a Adam's apple if you're a guy, and below the Adam's apple there is a depression, like subtle depression. This depression corresponds to the jugular notch. So this jugular notch corresponds to this depression in your chest. right below the neck, like at the origin of the neck. So this is the jugular notch. And then the second notch is called the clavicular notch. So it is called the clavicular notch. So there is a bone in your body uh, that is called the clavicle. So let me draw the chest again. So this is your chest. So this is your sternum. Okay, and like if you if you go in front of the mirror and look at yourself, you can see like there are two bones extending from the top of your chest cavity towards the shoulders. So these two long bones, like you can feel those bones as well. So these two long bones that go from the center of your body towards the shoulders, shoulder I don't know shoulder is these are called the clavicle. These are the long bones that go from the center to your shoulders. So these are the clavicles, and uh, I'll draw the clavicles in a different color so that you can see these properly. So these red bones are the clavicle. So this green one is the sternum, and this red one is the clavicle. So the clavicle has to attach with the sternum at these 2 points, right? So these 2 points of attachment of the bone clavicle with the sternum, with the bone sternum, and these points are called the clavicular notch. So the bone comes like this is the clavicle, say for example, and it attaches to this bone sternum at this point, this notch. So that's why it's called the clavicular notch. And then moving down, this notch is called the, it doesn't really have a name, but it's the notch for the first rib of your body. So as you know, like the thorax, the chest cavity is protected by a rib cage, right? So there are, like, the rib cage consists of ribs. So there are 12 pairs of ribs, like uh, 12 on this side, 12 on this side. So there are 12 ribs, right? So the ribs has to, like, the ribs go like this. So the ribs go like this in your body. All right. So the ribs all, like, most, like all the, not like necessarily all, but the ribs attached to the center of the body, that is center of the chest, and that is the bone sternum. So the ribs are attached to the sternum. So these two, this group is the place of attachment for the first rib. So let me rub this out. So the red one, the green one is your clavicle. The green one is your sternum. The red one is your clavicle. Now with the black one, I'll draw the first rib. So the first rib goes like this. First rib is really curved. So this one is the first rib. First rib. So as you can see, like the first rib, it goes back and joins to the vertebral column. Okay. The black line is the vertebral column. So it goes back and joins with the vertebral column. The vertebral column is at the posterior side, and the green part is the anterior side. So the first rib articulates with the sternum at these 2 points, right, at the manubrium, at these 2 points. So these are the places where the first rib of your body attaches. So since, like, there are 12 pairs of ribs, the first rib attaches at the head of the sternum or the manubrium. Okay, so there are other ribs as well, right? So where do these ribs attach? So, like, simply, like, there are other notches for respective ribs. Like I'll draw this one on this side only, so it's the same image on this side as well. So it's kind of like this: first rib, second rib, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Okay. So as you can see, like, moving downwards, there are different grooves, like different notches for corresponding ribs. So this is for the second rib, third, fourth rib, fifth rib, sixth rib, and finally the seventh rib. So the seventh rib is the last rib that actually articulates with the sternum, and 8, 9 and 10 ribs do not really touch the sternum, but they articulate with the seventh rib itself. So the seventh rib articulates with the sternum, but the 8, 9 and 10 ribs, like, they articulate with the seventh rib. They do not touch the sternum. They join the seventh rib itself, but not the sternum. So as you can see on the sternum, like, it has many notches for the attachment of ribs in your body. So one of the other important, like, clinically and anatomically interesting points in the bone sternum is this point. So let me rub this one out so that you can see this properly. So this point. So this point. So as you can see, at this point, this line, the manubrum and the body join at this line, at this point, this line that I've circled in green. So this point, the joining of the manubrum and the body of the sternum is called, like, there is an angle formed. So like the manubrum is like this, and the body of the sternum is like this. So the manubrum is like kind of forward, but the forward slanted, whereas the body is kind of downward slanted. So at this point there is an angle, right? There is like a beak. So it's kind of like this. There is a beak here. So between these two there is an angle, because they do not meet like at the plane. Like, they are slanted in opposite directions. So there is a slight angle. So this angle made by the slanting and the joining of these two slightly slanted bones, is called the sternal angle. Let me rub this one out. So this angle is called the sternal angle. Sternal angle, or it's also called angle of Lewis. So it's called the sternal angle. So why are we making such a fuss about an angle, right? So the angle is really, really important because of several reasons. So the primary reason why is it important is that this angle is like one of the most important landmarks in your body, because like at this angle, at the level of this angle, lots of things happen, important things happen at the level of this angle. So for example, the arch of aorta. So the aorta is like, aorta, right? So it's like one of the most important arteries in your body. So the arch of aorta, for example, one of the like some of the important things that happen at the level of this angle. So the arch of aorta starts at this angle, the level of this angle, and ends at this level of this angle. So the arch of aorta starts at this angle and ends at this angle. Another clinically important thing that happens at the level of this angle is that there is a trachea, right? And then the trachea has to bifurcate or divide into bronchus. So the point of division at which the trachea divides into two bronchi is the angle, the sternal angle. So at the sternal angle, the trachea divides into the bronchus. So like there are lots of clinically and anatomically important things that happen at the level of this angle. So the sternal angle in your body is one of the most important anatomical landmarks. So you have to remember where is this. So there's the sternal angle. And now moving towards the body, there is not much to say about the body itself. Like the body is like elongated, and then it's kind of like a sword shape, and then there are different notches for corresponding ribs, as I've already mentioned. And then this little guy here, this is the jiffy sternum. So this is like a small bone, like small extension of the uh, sternum. So jiffy sternum, it's basically like a small bone, and it provides attachment for muscles of the abdomen. So this is all about the sternum. Sternum is one of the most important bones of your body. It would be asked in exams, and in exams what they will give is like they will literally hand you a human sternum. Like they will give you a human bone, that is the sternum, and you have to like explain this is the jugular notch, this is the clavicular notch, this is the sternal angle, the importance of the sternal angle. So you have to give a demonstration with the bone. So I would advise you to look at like buy some human bones. You can actually do that. And like while studying bones of the thorax, you have to like take the bone as well, and study the bone along with studying the theory. So this is the theory, and you have to show the bone actually in practical exams. So yeah, this is really important bone, and it would be asked in exams, so you have to learn about this. So that's pretty much it for this video.